Hi, this is Brad Linder with Liliputing, and this is an HTC One XL. It's sort of last year's American version of HTC's flagship phone. There was the One X, which had a Tegra 3 processor, and there's this model with a dual-core Snapdragon processor. Came out a little while before. The Google Nexus 4 has a similar processor, but dual-core instead of quad-core, has a plastic case. But overall, it's a nice-looking device. It's a reasonably fast device, and it's the precursor to this year's HTC One phone. But I wasn't real thrilled with the Sense-based software that came with it, and so one of the first things I did was to install a version of CyanogenMod, and since then I've been running custom ROMs on it. So we've got what sort of looks like a more standard stock Android experience here. For a couple of months, though, development of CyanogenMod and many of those other ROMs had sort of been on pause because of problems stemming from an intellectual property dispute. So since March, there haven't been a lot of new official builds of CyanogenMod, and I was stuck with a version that felt a little bit sort of sluggish and unresponsive at times. Now development's picked up. The CyanogenMod team has moved to a new kernel, so this is based on kernel version 3.4, and there are now new nightly releases. This one's a build from June 25th, and overall everything just feels faster, more responsive. In terms of benchmark scores, it's not going to be much difference that you'll notice, but animations are a little bit quicker, and more importantly, sort of opening applications, switching between applications, and so forth is something that just happens much more smoothly. So little things like just when navigating to certain menus previously, it would be a little bit sluggish. Now it's pretty fast. Switching between applications could sometimes be sluggish. Now it's pretty fast. And I have no idea exactly what to attribute this to, but I've even noticed that my HSBA 3G connection is a little bit faster than it used to be. Rebooting the device is a little faster than it used to be. One thing that's actually a little slower is press the power button. Takes a second sometimes to get that lock screen to come up. That's something I'm willing to live with because of the overall improved performance. So you can see here that basically most functions work. The camera works. Let's go ahead and reverse the camera here. If I can remember how to reverse the camera. There we go. So that's what I look like on a not so great front-facing camera. No problem taking pictures. Some people have complained that when you try to use HDR mode, that the camera flashes, freezes. Let's see what happens. Seems to have worked out okay. And we've got an HDR photo showing my desk. It's not the most exciting thing I've ever seen. I find that it's not quite fast enough to do HDR very well, so I don't usually take HDR photos here, but it is something you can do. So basically most functions are working as they should in the latest nightly builds, and they are nightlies. So we should get new versions of CyanogenMod based on the 3.4 kernel pretty much every night. Now installing this can be a little bit of a pain. It's not as simple as just downloading and flashing the update like it was on earlier versions. You need to switch to the 3.18 version RUU, and that, depending on how you do it, can involve relocking your bootloader and going through some other changes. It's a good idea to back up your device completely using Clockwork Mod or TeamWin Recovery Project before you do that. And you can find some more information about how to do that at liliputing.com, and of course at the XDA Developers Forum, where developer HateRift, or H8Rift, is sort of the lead developer on this particular device. It's the HTC One XL, also known as the Avita, and it's running a new version of CyanogenMod 10.1 based on Android 4.2, and it runs really quite nicely. So just wanted to sort of show that off, and this is Brad Linder at Liliputing, and you can find more details at liliputing.com.